Hi, this video is on Seesaw, and it's a basic video for people that are just getting started. So when you go into Seesaw on your computer, you're going to go to seesaw.me. You'll sign in, and then you'll see your class. So under the journal here, I can see this is where all of my students would be listed. Coming to the next tab, that's the activities tab. This would be if you were going to assign assignments or want them to complete something. You can browse the activity lab and search through pre-made ones. The school actually has a shared collection that you can look through. Otherwise, you can create your own. The next one is the inbox. So if you have any messages that come in, this is where you would find it. And then you can see that you can also send student and family announcements here. So that would go out to everybody that had a parent account and then all of the students. And then the skills. If you're going to connect standards and to your lessons, you can do that here with the skills tag. We're going to go up into the top right corner where the wrench is. This is where the settings are. So just kind of looking at this first page, the class name, I have it as Mrs. Dam. If I wanted to change that, I just click on it and come in here. My grade level. I'm not going to go in and do manage teachers. And then my class theme. If I didn't want it to be blue, I could change it to a different color. My class icon is what is right here. So if I didn't want it to be MD for Mrs. Dam, I could use one of these. Otherwise, I could upload my own image. So I'm going to do the little rainbow bear, I guess it is. And then down here, you don't need to worry about the top three here. Student likes and comments, that is similar to like Facebook or Instagram, where they can comment and then they can like, which is just a little heart that they can give out to students, other students. So you can enable that if you'd like, just by turning it on. Otherwise, you're able to shut all of this off. The student comments, you can have that turned on, but then you have to approve any comments that come through before they're posted on another student's Seesaw post. So I'm going to go back a level here again. And then students can see each other's work. You can turn that on or off. New items require approval. So anytime a student submits an activity or an assignment, it would need your approval before it would get posted. So you could actually keep the students can see each other's work, and then once everybody has turned in their activities, then you can approve them to be put on Seesaw, and then everybody in the class would be able to see each other's posts. Enable item editing means that if they would submit the activity they're working on and they realize they forgot to do something, they can edit it again and then resubmit it. And then sample student, that's nice, so when you're building your class, you're able to see what it looks like from a student perspective. You can turn this off or you can leave it on, it's up to you. We want to enable family access. What that means is that your students' parents can join Seesaw. They can see only their student work, they can't see anybody else in the class. And then when you post those announcements or notifications, they're able to see those. I believe you guys sent out invites last week or earlier this week. And then once you have families in here, I don't have any, so you'll be able to see who a parent belongs with. Pending family approvals. If there's any parents that have requested to join your class through the code, they're going to show up here and you can admit them. And then family likes, comments, and sharing. So just like with the students, you can enable that if they like something, it shows up. And then same with comments. It's only going to be able to, they're only going to be able to see their own child's information. The enable family sharing, if they would do a project, parents are actually able to download and save the project and share it out, on their Facebook or Instagram. So that's always a good thing. And as we keep going down, class blog, that is where if you want your students to be able to do a little bit of blog posting, maybe you want to give them a starter question and have them write about it. You can also require that all blog posts have to be approved before they go live out on the internet. Manage folders. So as elementary teachers, you have many different subjects that you're working with. This is one thing that you'll want to make sure that you create right away. So if my first one is math, I'm going to type in math, choose my color for math, do my check mark, create folder, and continue to do that for all of your classes. Then when your students are turning in work, they can choose the correct folder to turn it into. And then this is for the skills. These are just the different color schemes that you can use. And then, let me scroll back down again. And then the skills rating scale. So if you're going to do anywhere between 3 to 6 stars, you're able to put that on there. And then manage skills. This is where you could add a new skill. So you could put out a standard that you're meeting with this assignment. And then you've got save to camera roll if you want to save things to the camera roll. And then the video quality. I would probably leave it at medium just because you don't know what the internet is like at some of your students' houses. We're going to come up here and we're going to click the X. And then go back to the wrench. And then we've got students and families up here. So right now I don't have any students. I just have the sample student. So that's why it's saying there aren't any students in your class. You will never add your students yourself to the class. Make sure that you contact Diane or the tech department in order to do that. So now we're going to come back over here and I'm going to click on Journal. So the journal is where you're going to see all of the activities that you've assigned to your students. Once they complete it and they turn it in, all of the different activities that they complete show up here. I'm going to see if I flip back to my other classroom. So I've got 2 sample students in here. So this is what it would look like. I can see their names, and then I have graded this. So when I come in here, put on, please finish and resubmit, and then circled some of the things that they needed to work on again. So what we're going to do is we're going to go up to, let me switch back to my other class. We're going to go up to the Add button, and you'll be able to see that you can post student work, assign activity, or send an announcement home. So if I click on Post Student Work, I can use the camera, I can do drawing, video, upload, note, and link. So if I wanted to do, we'll do a drawing. My students would be able to draw in this, and then they could submit it onto their own journal. So sorry, I'm writing with a mouse. When I click the plus sign, all of your students' names are going to show up. They select their name, click the check mark, decide which folder it's going to go in, and then click the check mark one more time. And then it would show up in the journal. The students will see their work right away, but if you have it set that you want to approve it, none of the other students in your class will see it. Only that one student will, the one that submitted it. So when we were talking about likes and comments, this is where it is like Facebook, just right underneath the post, and then they can comment. If I come over to the 3 dots here, these are the different things that I can do with the student assignment. So I can edit it. I can edit people if more people worked on a project together. I can switch the folder if they accidentally put it in the wrong folder. Edit the date, copy and edit the item. So that would almost be like in Google doing a copy, make a copy, and then edit it. If I do edit here, I'm actually editing the student's original work. I can share it. I can save it. I can also give the item a QR code. So it'll create a QR code, and then when you scan it, you would see their project. So if I would do edit item, this is where I would be coming in and correcting their work, telling them, to please readjust. If you work with younger kiddos, you have the microphone. It counts down from 3, 2, 1. And then you can see you can do up to 5 minutes. It's recording everything that I say. I can use the pause button to pause. When I'm finished, I'm going to click done. I have the option to listen to my recording, otherwise to re-record if I thought it sounded okay. I'm going to click the check mark. So now when the student receives it, they have my feedback on it, and then along with an audio feedback. So we'll go back up to add here, and this is assign an activity. So there's 3 different places that you'll look for activities. The first one is the community. This is anybody, either at Seesaw or any teachers that submit activities for other teachers. I can search by grade level. I can search by subject area. So if I was looking for something for math, here's all of the different math options that I have for first grade. So if I wanted something interactive, I can click on this place value basketball. These are the instructions for the students. So it says click on the link to play a place value game. Choose the correct basketball to match the 10s and the 1s, and then tap to add response icon to find your name. Your task is to choose a 2-digit number and write it in standard form above the net. And all of these instructions here, the students can see. She's also recorded the instructions that they're able to listen to. And then they are actually going to edit this document it's showing. So if this is something that I want to maybe adjust a few things, I'm going to come down to the horizontal 3 dots. Sorry, I'm going to come up to the heart, and what that does is it adds it to my library. So now from here, I can come in and I can do copy and edit. So it'll take a copy of this Miss Josie's activity, and then I'm able to come in here and edit the items. Once I'm satisfied with what I have on here, I click Save, and then I can assign it. So I've got it in Mrs. Dam. It's going to go to 1 student because that's all I have. I can click Edit Students and Folders and Skills. So if I have a student on an IEP that needs something adjusted, when all of my students are listed here, I can choose just the students that need a modified assignment, or vice versa, and then share that out to the students. So I'm going to say that this one is in the math folder. Click my check mark, and then assign to one class. So now when my students would log in again, they're going to see this activity that I placed on there. So as a student, they'd click Add Response, chose my student's name, and now they have the information here that they are able to write with. So they've got a pencil tool, they've got a marker, like a kind of a fine point Sharpie, eraser tool. And then on the side here, they have a text tool. So this is the label tool. So if I wanted to add a 10 here, and then I can slide that over, can do the microphone, they can take a picture, and then in this 3 horizontal line, they've got backgrounds and they've got shapes as well that they can bring in. And then if they want to, draw or write, they can use the tools down at the bottom. They do have an eraser. And then they can erase things. So as they work through this and they are done, if they have questions here, remember before I said that they could see the instructions at any time. When they're ready to turn it in, they're just going to click the check mark. It's going to ask them to, oh, that's right, because I chose myself as the student before. So now they've turned this in as the student would be, or the teacher would be able to see this work. And then just to kind of go through that again for the teacher to leave some comments on it, I'm going to do edit item. And then I'm going to come in here and let them know that these are the areas that they didn't do. I can leave a text, a label that says please redo and resubmit, a voice message, and then turn that back to the student just by clicking the check mark. And then when the student logs in again, they'll see that I returned it and that they can click on that and either listen to it if there's a voice comment or follow the instructions that I left on there. So I'm going to come back up to the add, go to add library. So now this is where I was saying that we have a school library. This is just everything in PE, first grade. You can see there's 75 activities. And then you can switch to different grades as well and kind of see what they have in here. So I'm working in first grade, and let's say we are doing writing. I can see that there is one writing activity to work with. So if you co-teach with teachers, one teacher can create activities and then another teacher can use it as long as you save it in the school when the school activity library before you submit it. My library is always going to be anything that you have created yourself, that you've gotten out of your school activity library, or that you've gotten out of the community activity library. So I'm going to click back to class. So now if I just want to browse the activities that are out there, but I don't want to assign it, I'm going to come over to the activities right here, and I'm going to click Browse Activity Library. I have my 3 libraries just like I did before. I've got the community, school, and my library at the top. And now I can start going through all of the different activities that are available. And like I said, if you find one that you like, you're going to click on it. You're going to give it a heart. The heart always means that it puts it in your library. So after I've maybe found several different activities that I like, I can go back to my library. Here's the one that I just clicked on. If I have changes that I want to work with, I'm going to come down to the 3 horizontal dots, go to copy and edit activity, so it makes a copy of it and then puts my name with it. Adjust things. Maybe I have some more templates that I want them to use, or I want to add voice instructions. And you can also include examples that the students can see before they get into the activity. Click Save. I don't have to assign this right now. I could just get it ready, and I could go back to Community and continue looking. So I hope that helps you just kind of get going. And then if you need help creating your own activities, I can definitely help you with that. Just to kind of keep things simple right away, I would suggest using your school activities and your community activities, maybe partnering up with a co-teacher and kind of sharing that workload.